Rise and shine. It's a talk of shit time. Welcome to tonight's video where we are going to be having a informal discussion about bad habits at the dining table. Something different,
Or
something,
just eating in general.
just eating in general. Yes. So what we'll do is we'll just fire back and forward. You can start. What is your number one pet hate?
At the moment, my number one pet hate is the girls sitting at the table with their legs up at
Oh,
the table. So not feet on the table, just like
knee,
legs,
knees.
knees above the table. I hate, really, really hate knees above the table. That is my number one pet hate at the moment.
Do you know
And
what?
the worst is
Chat.
Lily.
I did that once. You know why?
Why?
I got a fork thrown at me, and I learnt real quick.
So yeah, Lily's the worst at the moment. She can't eat without having one leg cocked up above the table. I hate it.
Ugh. No,
Absolutely hate it.
that's a good one. My one, I'm going to roll straight into it, and I know this is gonna you're probably going to leave the chat, but I don't care. It's sitting at the table when you're having a breakfast, a lunch, and dinner. That's my pet hate. What's the point of having a table? I've been to too many people's houses where they sit on the couch, they sit on the floor. What's the fucking point? That is my pet hate. You sit at the table, you buy a TV to watch TV, right? You buy a bed to sleep in, you buy a couch to sit down. Guess what? You buy a table to sit down and eat. Anyway, that's my pet hate.
There's a time and place.
Yeah,
Like tonight, for
breakfast, lunch,
example, you
dinner.
were just having a crack at me. There was only me, Lily, and Braden at home. Catherine and Sky weren't home, so we just did our own thing.
So you know what I'd be doing in that situation, my friend? Hear me out. I'd be getting my
Mm.
kids at the table talking about the day, how they went.
That's what we do.
And
So we sit at the table. I'd
once,
say three to four times a week. 3 to 4 times a week. So Friday nights generally do your own thing. Saturday nights definitely do your own thing. Sunday nights is generally always at the table. Then probably 3 out of 5 times through the week at the table.
yeah, I wish you married an Italian woman. Anyway, what's your next one?
I actually haven't got anything written down.
Oh my God. Jeez, you
That's
make
just gonna. I
you
was just gonna feed off you all night. I didn't want to say anything. I was hoping you were just gonna rattle them off. Okay, my next hate is feeding your kids with a bloody knife.
Oh, right. Okay. So we have this is called a stab at each other. Right. Let me tell you something. A butter knife is curved. Yeah. Sorry, correction. A butter knife is the same as a spoon. It's just not curved. If you watch me TikTok video, you and one other parasite are the only two that had something negative to say. Everyone else loved it.
Mm. So a butter knife doesn't have little shredded edges on it.
A butter knife does not have serrated edge. A butter knife is a just a you can't even cut anything with it. That's hard
Mm.
enough to cut butter. Anyway,
Mm.
moving on. Another pet hate of mine that I see too many people do is technology at the table. I'm talking phones, I'm talking laptops, I'm talking iPads.
Mm. I
Oh,
agree with that.
does me head in, mate.
Um, yeah, I have my phone at the table, but I don't use it.
No, mine sits at the thing. Only time is when one of yous call me on the Snapchat for our morning chat because obviously we're at a time difference now. Uh,
Mm.
I will answer the phone, obviously, because my kids like to say hello to you and Dutchy, as you know.
Mm.
But no, apart from that, my phone's on the bench when I eat.
I hate how people. I should have probably brought a knife and fork over with me. I hate how I'm real like I like a knife and fork to be held a certain way. Like you see people that eat with a fork straight up and down and they cut like that on the other side of the fork
Yeah.
and they're holding their fork like this with a fork coming out the bottom and they're cutting like this and it does my head in.
Yeah,
Like
that comes down.
knife and fork skills, it's not hard to learn.
No, it's not. I'm a bit on the opposite side because I hold my knife in the opposite hand.
I
Uh,
hold my knife in the left hand,
so do I.
but I'm left-handed.
I'm not.
Yeah, right.
It's like cricket, as you know, when I played that year down there. You're like, you're right-handed, but you bat left-handed. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I'm just weird when it comes to that.
So yeah, I'm holding a knife and fork, mate. It does my head in.
Another one I hate, blowing your nose at the table. Oh, there's nothing worse than having a nice dinner and then hearing,
But yeah, you get up and who does that? Have you seen people do that before?
God bless my nonna nonno. So proper Italians, right? My nonno would have a handkerchief in his pocket. That's why I always carry one. And we'd be at the table, whatever, and he'd just pull it out, blow his nose, and my nonna would be cursing him from across the table in Italian, and I'm just like eating. Oh, my, just memories, man. Like it's just you don't do it. It's just an etiquette thing, a polite thing. You just don't do it.
I used to know a guy, first armored back in the day, worst eater I've ever seen in my life. Every time he chewed, like his mouth went up and down, he blinked.
See
And
that
he
that's
couldn't eat with his mouth closed.
that's my next one. Chewing with your mouth open like a camel. My God, I just want to get the knife and throw it like Call of Duty style, and hopefully you get a kill. Oh.
Yeah, nah, it does my head in.
What about when you're out
Does
in
my head in.
town or something, or your local pub, and you just see people eating like that? You're like, what the hell, man?
Just does my head in. I don't know.
Here's another one which I don't think too many people know about, but I learned this when I was working hospitality: is passing food. You always pass food to your right. Um,
Yeah.
so you don't. If you want something that's up there, you got to ask the person who's going to pass it to you from the right. Not many
Yeah,
people.
but that's a culture thing for you guys, isn't it?
Oh, not really. It's more of an etiquette thing, I guess you could say.
Hey?
It's more of a do the writing.
Yeah, but like that's very big in the Italian and Greek and in
Yeah.
that environment, yeah?
Yes.
Like your dinner table or your like I could only imagine what dinner would be like sitting with your mum and your dad and your nonna and all that sort of stuff. It would be like
You'd go from white to red, I reckon, if you sat there. But anyway, keep going.
yeah, just like watching you guys eat or sit down and have a meal compared to like my family, completely different.
Completely different. So another thing we got taught at a very young age that obviously, the mother, the father, the uncles, whoever, they're preparing the food. The kids
Yeah.
will always get up first before the adults even think about getting up, and you will leave your plate there. You will go grab your mum and dad's, uncle's, auntie's plate, scrape that, take it to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been to a lot of people's houses for tea with kids, and that man, that respect sort of thing, that's gone.
Yeah.
Like I remember growing up, even when I lived with my mum and dad. Dad would be at work, come home, mum would be stay at home, mum cooked the dinner, and then me and Ben, we undid the table, uh, done the dishes, done the drying, clean the table, vacuum the
Yeah.
floor, like that. That's just how it was, man. There was no questioning it. There was no nothing.
We used to when there were kids when the kids were little, the kids used to have to ask permission to leave the table.
Oh, absolutely. So did we. Yeah.
So it wasn't like a strict thing. It was just we wanted to make sure that they had eaten what they needed to eat and had enough food.
Hmm.
And once they thought they'd finished, they'd say permission to leave the table. And I would go, nah, two more bits of broccoli, then you're good to go. Or yep, you've eaten enough, all good. But the one thing I do love about sitting at the table and eating as a family is everyone's there and it's all jobs are done before everyone just starbursts.
Hmm.
like perks of having one kid. Having three kids is one kid will do the dishes, one will clean the table off, one will wipe everything down, sort of then clean the table off. So,
Yeah.
and the cook never cleans.
No.
Big, so probably the only tradition, not only tradition, but Christmas Day. You know how all the women do the prep. The
Yeah.
men always clean up on Christmas Day, and
Well,
in
because
in
the
Kat's
women
family.
spend hours, if not days,
Yeah,
preparing all the food, you know, and
yeah,
I'm all for that too, man. Like that's just how it is. Like in my Christmas, when I remember when I was growing up, Christmas, so the men would be doing the barbecue outside, the potatoes on the half barrel with the still I don't know how, man. It looked feral, but gee, the food tasted amazing. The women would do all the salads and the inside stuff, the desserts, and all of us cousins and brothers, sisters, and that we did all the chores. You know what I mean?
yep,
That's just how
yep.
it was. Um,
I got another pet hate. It's not anything to do with eating. It's to do with the cooking.
mm,
And just make sure the coast is clear. My wife has a tendency, all right? She'll cook something. Oh, I need some garlic salt. Put a bit of garlic salt on. Leave it on the bench. Need something else, a herb or spice. Put that on. Leave it on the bench. Oh, we need the butter. Okay, let's get the butter out. I'll leave it on the bench. Every single fucking thing that's used for cooking is just left on the bench.
can you
She doesn't clean up as she goes. Not all the time. I won't say all the time.
can you take
Then
a
I get up to do the dishes, and I'm like, what the? Did you put anything away after you used it?
can you take a photo of that butler's pantry after all your kids and wife have gone for the morning?
I have to start calling her old Mother Hubbard. Because you go to the cupboard, and the cupboard's a bare. It's all on the bloody kitchen bench.
Can you explain what would happen, maybe on a Sunday morning after a Friday and Saturday night of it's behind the wife's couch where she sits?
Oh, that's any night. Any night we don't sit at the table.
So four
There's
nights out of the week, yeah, keep going. You're digging
I was
yourself
I
a hole.
was in Sky's room the other day,
Yeah,
and Sky's got the storage that like the bed head with the shelves and the storage and stuff.
yeah.
It's like three bowls and spoons, two plates, mate, 16 cups. Oh,
So,
I need to do one of those video shorts where I push the buzzer and say, Sky, bring your dishes out. It should be coming out like this.
mate, you should set her up and just put half the bloody kitchen in there, and then do that video. Hit that button.
Just,
Um,
terrible. She is the worst at it. And Sky will never, ever, 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 ever eat breakfast at the table. She fills the bowl up with cocoa balls, whatever, and just straight back to the bedroom. I'm like, what are you doing? Come sit down with me. She goes, oh, I've got things to do. Well, why don't you sit down, spend 5 minutes eating your breakfast, put it in the sink or in the dishwasher, then that job's done. Instead of sitting in your room for 20 minutes or an hour, taking 30 minutes to eat your breakfast. Oh, but I multitask. Bullshit.
did you see that
And she
video
brings half a bowl of bloody cocoa balls left because she doesn't eat it all.
that fills it up?
Mate,
I've taught my kids how to do the load the dishwasher and that. I don't know if you saw that video of
I did.
teaching the kids, so they're more on learning at a young age.
Um, I
Want
got
to
another one for you. It's not a habit. It's just something that Braden does. Braden eats his toast upside down. So if he's got Nutella or Vegemite, when he puts it in his mouth, the Nutella and Vegemite, he turns it upside down. It's on the bottom. So then the Vegemite and Nutella touches your tongue first.
Mate, I've
He's
honestly
always done it.
the only thing closest to that was my kids used to eat pizza like that. They'd pick it up, and this is when they were a lot younger. That I had to correct them with that. But no, I can't say I've seen that before with the
Yeah,
toast.
it's weird.
In-
Only recently, probably in the last, I'd say 2, 3, 4 months, maybe this year,
Yeah.
he's started to turn it into a toasty. So he'll have like a Nutella or Vegemite toasty instead of separate bits of toast. He'll just put them together, make a sandwich, and eat it that way. But he's 12 years old now, and ever since I can remember, ever since he's been making his own toast, or we've made him toast, just eats it upside down. Crazy.
Never noticed that. That's
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to keep a
There
look
you go.
at my kids, see what they do. I'm pretty sure they eat it the right way. They did. I said the pizza they used to grab that, and somehow by the time they picked that up, I don't know if they picked it up and just flipped it over, but now they know topping goes on the top. But yeah, right, okay,
Yeah, there you go. What
very.
didn't they? All the topping fall off. Anyway.
Yawning at the table.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I
Just means everyone's tired and ready to go to bed.
I find that if I see someone yawn, guess what? I'm starting to yawn. Um, I don't get it. I do not get
Well,
it.
it depends if people are just sitting there eating or if there's a bit of a conversation flowing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then that's going to bring the yawns out.
Another one, man, that I really dislike and that I think's semi rude is elbows on the table. You know, if you've
Yeah,
eaten a sandwich or
yeah,
watermelon or something, I hate when people have their elbow. Like you just tuck them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you look stupid.
yeah. Just it's just sloppy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like for me, the dinner table is somewhere where you got to be respectable and all that sort of stuff. So you hold yourself accordingly and in a certain way. You don't go to the dinner table and
So
put your feet up, put your
we were never
elbows in.
we were never allowed to fluff at the dinner table. We used to get smacked for that.
Yeah, right.
And burping, if we didn't cover our mouth and excuse ourselves, we got whacked.
Yeah, I'm bad for that, but I do it just to make a joke and try and be funny. I'll do a fart or a burp every now and then. I don't mind.
That's
I
called
probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. But my kids are growing up too, so it's okay. It's not okay, but yeah.
But yeah, that's
Depending on which kid I want to annoy, I'll lean that way and grab it, give them a cupcake.
a cupcake, you reckon?
Hmm.
Um, Another one that I don't
Yes.
like because sometimes it's happened to me when if not at a dinner table, but say you're at a market, sitting at a table, or at a food court, or something like that, is when people talk with their mouth full, and then all of a sudden you get bits of food on you. Like I hate when people talk with
Oh,
their mouth full, man.
yeah, I'll
'Cause you can see
spitting
the
food.
you can
Yeah,
see the stuff spinning around, and it's like you just swallow your food and then talk. You know.
yeah. It's just the same as eating with your mouth open. You don't talk. Like it's just something you just don't do. Like finish your food off. Um, finish your food off. Shut up until you finish, and then we'll start talking.
I'll tell you what, man. I remember when I joined and obviously went to Kabuka and IETs. Obviously, you're forced to have your meal times with everyone. You're always doing your meal times with everyone. And I used to sit back, man. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm better than everyone, but geez, I used to judge people on the way they used to eat, and the way they were brought up. I'm like, geez, you feral pigs. You know what I mean? Like, you just look at a man, and you just like, who's going to marry you? Who's going to, like, you know what I mean? Like, just stupid things like that. I'm like, you're just a
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
of shit.
Oh, it's nothing wrong with that. What
Oh,
do you think about people picking their teeth at the
see,
table?
okay, so this is all going back to my culture and heritage growing up. So after your meal, everything was cleared. You've had your dessert, and if you're just sipping vino or beer or lemonade or kadzorza as we call it, or shandies, out come the toothpicks, and
Mm-hmm.
you're as long as you had a serviette in front of you, you're allowed to
Yep.
pick your teeth with the toothpick. No food on the table.
Yep.
And that was a thing that I remember, man, as a 5, 6 year old, you just thought you were the bee's knees because your grandfather's doing it.
So in your family or Italians and stuff, like after dinner, all the women go do something. All the men sit at the table, like you
And,
see on Sushi Man, go with their tea and
and
their coffee and have a big
absolutely.
yarn.
So the women will go, do their shower or whatever they're doing, go sit in the lounge room. Mind you, the lounge room had all plastic all over it. My God, kids couldn't sit on the lounge anyway. But me nonna could. God bless you. And yeah, we'd me and Ben would sit at the table with my nonna, my Uncle Ches, Uncle Joe, and all that, and we'd, that nonna would have his little espresso coffee. This is after a massive feed and vino and this. We'd have piccolos we used to call them, which are littles. And yeah, we just sit there and talk. Flick the news on the little 30 centimeter bloody TV that's like this big at the back.
Little cups, yeah.
Yeah, little, tiny.
Not big ones.
No. And then you'd get these bloody they're like they're nuts coated in red sugar. This is why we all die of diabetes at 50 years old.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You'll know when you see them. You'll know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. This is why I had man titties as a kid, because we just used to eat.
Rightio. When you finish your food, what do you do with your plate?
So as I said,
you push it away. What do you do?
As in now,
what do you do with your knife and fork?
Knife and fork. So if you're still eating, well, you put your fork in like a V shape on your plate. If you're having a drink or whatever, if you're finished, your forks are. Sorry, let me explain. So pretend your knife and fork. If I'm still eating, it's on my plate. If I'm finished,
yes,
they're like this,
side by side.
Side by side.
Down the middle of the plate.
Down the middle of the plate.
I do. Yeah,
that's just an adequate thing to let. Generally, that's done for when you're at a restaurant. So waiters know he's still eating. We're not taking his plate. He's finished. We take his plate.
Yep.
Again, that people only know that if that's passed down from tradition.
Yeah.
My kids don't understand that at the moment.
Yep.
But they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big believer and firm believer in that for sure. I actually like that one. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about when you're talking, got a knife or fork in your hand and you're waving it around?
I don't do that, man.
No, neither do I.
But you do see people point with it when they're.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, point that knife at me, otherwise I'm going to grab that, turn that son of a bitch sideways, push.
Like you never point a gun at anyone.
Let's be honest.
Number one rule when you're in the army.
We've all done it in our time, mate.
Hey?
We've all done it once in our career. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Unloaded, of course.
Oh, yeah. No magazine, no nothing. Just the gun itself.
Licking your fingers. Do you guys ever use your hands like drumsticks or?
Mate, look,
pork chops or.
I do. I don't like put them all the way down my throat, make myself gag. But
What about growing up?
Growing up, I'm trying to think. No, I'm pretty sure we used to do it, man.
Yeah.
I don't ever recall getting a clip over the head for anything like that. Yeah, I think that was fine.
I think there's certain meals most definitely you can just indulge in, like corn. You put the little corns on the side, and there's definitely there's definitely meals that you have to cater for fingers, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, man, and absolutely. And Italians with their bread, you always you eat Italians eat. They've got one utensil in their hand, the other one ain't a fork or a spoon. It's bread.
Yep.
That's just how it is, and yeah, I don't recall ever getting in trouble for doing that sort of stuff. Dropping food, yes. Like if we drop food.
What do you mean?
So say you put too much on your fork or it's on your bread and you miss your mouth and you drop it.
Yep.
That was a big no-no.
Okay.
Done that a few times as a kid and learnt me lesson pretty quick.
Ever put like too much meat in your mouth and you can't chew it and you got to sort of bite half of it off and put it back on the plate?
Used to get double serviettes, man, and pretend to cough and get out. Because I've done that as a kid. You put too much, like you said, too much food in your mouth and you just, it's not getting any smaller.
I just looked at something here. mistakes you should stop making. And the first one that come up was something that you said was passing the food in the wrong direction.
Really? I actually don't
Mhm.
have. I don't have anything. This is all off the cuff of my head, mate. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
all stuff that I'm. I've literally got my
But
can of drink, Mount Franklin soda water in front of me.
now that I think about it, that is something that I guess we sort of do when I'm with Kat's family. Um, and Kat's family will sort of pass the food around the same direction.
Mm.
But have you ever come across people that will cut all their food up at once?
Yes, I have, mate. I've seen that. I've got no issue of doing that for kids,
100%.
whatsoever. But yeah, I don't. I've seen it, mate. It doesn't phase me. I don't care, but it just looks silly. Like, especially if an adult's doing it. Like, hello, you look like an idiot. You know, cut what you want.
I got no teeth.
Yeah. Well, no worries, Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah. So I have seen that, man, and it is what it is.
Um, this would be something that you'd probably be something big in your family, I think. Leaving your napkin on the table.
As in one you've used.
Well, I don't know.
So
Maybe.
the way we did it, depending on how many people came and what sort of occasion it was, the napkin either got folded in your cup, right, and then you'd take it out when you're going to have a drink,
Mm.
or it went under your cutlery. Um,
Yes.
and
Yep.
obviously, when you finish your napkin gets scrunched, put on your plate, not
Should always go on your plate, I reckon.
not left on the table. No, I can't say
Mm.
we
So
ever
when
left
the
a napkin on the table.
so when the kids take the plates, scrape it off,
Yeah,
straight in the bin,
right.
dishwasher.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the last one I've got for you. If you've got any more,
Mm-hmm.
seating arrangements.
As in same seat,
Same seats
100%.
every time. Um, certain people sit in certain places, like the father, the mother,
100%.
all that sort of stuff.
100%. Mate, I could not agree anymore. I sit at the head of the table and
Yeah.
pretend I'm sitting at the head. To my left is always Chelsea. To my right is always Casey. Um, and that's how it is.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
We even go as far as same placemats. Everyone has their same placemat that they use. Everything like that.
yeah. So we don't have placemats at the moment. We used to, but I
Yep.
swear they just got more messier. I stopped using
But
them.
that's something that's actually something that the kids bought in. So we've got a couple sets. One of our sets that we main use is just like country Australia, like just different images of like country Australia, like
Is it
drawn
all,
stuff, like
is all have the
paintings.
same one?
Yeah. So when the kids set the table, so
No,
either
no. I mean,
Braden or
like the same design. Like, does your placemat look exactly the same as your wife's, as your kids?
no, different.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
So it's like it'll come like a set of eight of like Australian countryside landscape type stuff, like painting or drawing or whatever. And there's actually the kids. They picked which one they wanted. They asked us which one we wanted, and every time they sit at the table, they did the same thing every time.
I think that's great. That's a sense of you know choice,
Yeah.
your own identity sort of thing. I think that's great. I got nothing against that. We all had bluey placemats, and as I said, it just got real messy. And I was like, I'm cleaning two things: the table and the placemat. So I was like,
Yeah.
when they get a bit older, we might look at using placemats again.
Um, so when we sit, I sit obviously at the head. Next to me, I'm on my left is Braden. Then on my right is Lily. Then back left is Scott, Catherine, and then Sky. That's the way it's always been for us. Cat's never, well, not for a long time. She hasn't sat right next to me, so she sits at the end, like as if to say it's the foot of the table,
Yeah.
but it's not. But yeah. So Braden, Lily, Catherine, Sky.
Double dipping. At the table, yay or nay?
It's okay if it's on your own plate.
No, no, I'm talking. Say you're sitting down. There's a bowl of gravy, or
Yeah.
there's pasta, or like where everyone with you use utensils to put on your own plate.
Yep.
Pasta or whatever, and you've got bread, dip, eat. Do you dip again?
I'm okay with it if it's family only.
Yep.
But if your family came over for dinner and we had like a cob loaf or something, I wouldn't double dip. Double dips. There's a movie about double dipping. There's a couple movies that talk about double dipping. And I've always sort of been self conscious of it. I won't do it in public. But if it's me and you sitting eating a bowl of chips and gravy at the pub, having a beer, I'll double dip. That's okay.
Yeah.
Um, with my family, it's okay. But if it's like a group setting, a couple families get together and it's a little bit nice, I would never do it.
Yeah.
Never ever do it.
Yeah. I'm not too fussed of it, mate. Like, to me, if you double dip and you like it, tastes good, gives the rats.
Mm.
And again, it depends who's around. You're right. You're absolutely right.
No, you're exactly right. Um, where to stand? Have you ever had a food fight at the table?
Mate,
I started one. What are you thinking? I started. Well, it would have been 5, 6 years ago. I started a food fight. I don't know why, and everyone just got. I think we had bolognese one night,
God, oh
and I
God.
flicked a bit of spaghetti at the kids. Catherine was like,
Mort-
ah! But
Mortified?
me and the two girls just spaghetti and mince everywhere.
No,
It was
mate.
fun.
I can't say I've done that. The closest we've done to that was when me and Ben were young. Um, Mum was sitting at the table with me and Ben opposite. She cut up watermelon. Anyway, we started spitting the seeds at Mum, like, and she looked like she had some disease. Anyway, Dad's come home from work late, and I remember this to a T. And he's come in, and he's looked, and he went and got the belt and flogged me and Ben, saying that we were disrespectful. Anyway, Mum didn't say nothing until the next day when she dropped us to school. That she goes, "I didn't stand up for you because I was scared."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what we did was disrespectful. We're spitting
Yeah,
seeds at our mother,
yeah.
and yeah, just
How
had
old were you then?
oh, let's say 10 and 8. This is
Yeah, okay.
this is one of our first floggings from our dad.
So young enough to still be a little bit naive and have a bit of fun, but old enough to go, ooh,
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
Oh,
not
we
going to do
never
that
did
again.
it again. Put it that way.
100%.
But yeah, I'll tell you what, I had some good times at the dinner table. I must say.
Yeah, I don't remember bugger all from when I was a kid, to be honest. Very little I remember, but yeah, all the good dinner table memories I've got is from me and my family. Me and my kids, or yeah, me and Catherine and the kids. I don't remember hardly anything from um eating at the table and stuff like that as a kid.
I've got a get off you, bloody dog. I've got an old school bloody photos,
Mm-hmm.
and the dining table photos of here, man, is the bee's knees, mate. Like chockers, full of soft
You
drink,
and your kids?
food. No, no, when I was a kid.
Oh,
That's from when I grew up.
yeah. Mum and dad got heaps of those, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, heaps. All the old photos and stuff.
I go through them every now and then, just have a look.
Actually, I need to talk to dad about all the old photos and get them all put into books and stuff.
Mate, just what you do is you just get all of them sent to you like I did, and you go down to Kmart. They still sell these old school photo things. and you just put them in.
Yep. Make copies for all the brothers. That'd be good.
Yeah, well, you can still do that at the shops.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yep.
but yes. Anyway, oh, we're nearly at 40 minutes, mate.
Are we?
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go. We're gonna have to wrap that up.
Yep.
That's a little video. We got a bit sidetracked, but I guess speaking from experience and here growing up, I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, anything else you want to say before we call it, mate?
Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. I'll be there. Not looking forward to it. I'll send you some photos.
I couldn't give two shits about Melbourne Cup.
Oh, my old man's 70 today, so happy birthday, old man. And my oldest daughter was 18 yesterday, so happy birthday, Sky. There you go.
Very good.
Oh, Sky, we caught her yesterday doing 100 and fucking nearly 150, 140 k's out on the Hume Freeway.
And what a piece.
First day on a license. Yeah,
Wow. Good luck.
that's what you do when you're young, I guess. We didn't. Yeah, just gave the disappointed thing.
How'd you catch her?
Live 360. It wasn't me. It was Catherine. Catherine and all the kids were on live 360 with each other.
Yeah.
Tells you how fast they're going, what they're doing, where they are. Fucking if they're on their fucking periods, everything.
There you go.
If you're in the air in a plane, tells you. Tells you if you're looking over your left shoulder, right shoulder, fucking everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we might end it there. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it, and we will catch you on the next video. Bon voyage. Arrivederci.